Welcome to Audible Stories. The Fortune of Wisdom. Once upon a time in the town there lived a wise man and his wife. The wise man knew from the start that he would have to move to the large city if he wanted to make something of himself in his life. And so he dreamed of that day, to be in the palace and work for the emperor. One day the priest of the city visited the town of the wise man. When he saw the priest, he bowed before him. "Sir, please, I would like to meet the emperor one day. Would you like to introduce me?" The priest was not paying much attention to the wise man. "Of course, sure I will," he said it absent-mindedly. On the night of the new moon, the wise man once again visited the temple to pray, when suddenly the goddess of wisdom appeared before him. The wise man could see that she had held two bowls in her hands, one was made of gold and the other one was of silver. "In this gold bowl there is the sweet milk of wealth and fortune, and in the other hand of the silver bowl there is the sour curds of knowledge and wisdom. Which bowl do you wish to drink?" asked the goddesses to the wise man. The wise man leaned toward the bowls, pretending to smell each one, and then he swallowed the contents of both the bowls. "What have you done?" the goddess cried furiously. "What is the use of having a wisdom without fortune?" The wise man asked. "And what would be the purpose of having fortune without wisdom? I beg your forgiveness, if I have made a mistake," the wise man said. The goddess was pleased with the wise man's witty response, his honesty and integrity, and so she blessed him with the fortune of wisdom. "You will face many problems with your fortune," she said, "but you will also receive many offers and gifts from your wisdom." Soon after this, the wise man moved to town and went to see the priest. "I'm here," he said, "and wish to meet the emperor, just as you promised." The priest shook his head and said, "I do remember you. Now, go away and come tomorrow. I will take you to meet the emperor." The next day the old priest and the wise man began to walk to the palace, when suddenly the priest collapsed by the river bank, but no matter how hard he tried to wake the priest, he could not shake the old priest. The wise man had no choice but to lift the priest on his back and walk with him towards the palace, and when people saw this amazing sight, they quickly reported the news to the emperor. The emperor flew into a royal rage and immediately climbed into his chariot and rode toward the river bank. But when the wise man saw the royal carriage coming near, he leapt back to the ground, and gave the old priest some water to drink, and he lifted the priest once again onto his shoulders. The emperor approached, and when he saw the priest riding on the wise man's shoulders, he was impressed with the young wise man's strength and generosity. He turned to his servants and said, "Invite this young wise man to the palace to receive my thanks and rewards." So began the days of the wise man's life in the palace. He would be alongside the emperor and his men to take care of the day-to-day running of the palace. In those days the emperor regularly visited the jails. One day 2 of the prisoners begged him to set them free. "Our theft was artful," they argued, "but we will give up our ways and find a new profession if you set us free." "I will test your skills," the emperor said, "and then I shall make my decision. Go to this wise man's house and steal his fortune of wisdom. If you are successful, I will set you free, but make sure you harm no one." That evening, as the wise man was tending his garden, the two thieves climbed the compound wall and hid in the bushes, where they carefully studied their surroundings. The wise man spotted the thieves, and he just knew what to do. He pretended he did not know they were there, and he called to his wife, "My dear, come fast and hear the news. Two convicts have escaped from jail. We should protect our valuables and our fortune of wisdom. Let us put them at the bottom of the well." The wise man's wife knew her husband was witty and full of wisdom, and so she immediately agreed. Behind the bushes, the thieves looked with delight at each other. Who would have thought their plan would be this easy? They watched as the wise man and his wife lowered a chest of treasure to the bottom of the well. The two thieves then waited until it was dark, and they were certain the wise man and his wife had gone to sleep. Then the thieves hastened to the well, and while one stood guard, the other slipped inside. "There's too much water," he said. "We have to empty the well." They began to draw water, bucket after bucket, and the yard got filled so that the wise man's plants and garden were fully watered. When the well was empty, the thieves climbed in together and carried out the chest of treasure which the wise man had dropped inside. Alas! Inside they discovered only logs and stones. The wise man was only pretending to sleep, so he called out, "Thieves' brother, please draw another bucket of water. 2 more plants need tending, and it is close to dawn." The horrified thieves began to run, but they could not get away. Thus the emperor understood that the thieves were no artists at all, and once again the wise man proved to be blessed with his fortune of wisdom. If you like the story, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you for listening.